All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be speaking with an individual set for a very intriguing welterweight fight at Oktagon 43, and that transpires on May the 20th. We've got Melvin Van Suijdam and Louis Glismann getting out there and testing skills, and great getting to have Melvin on the show today. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, doing very good. Thank you.
Yeah, and this would seem like a big one, I mean, in a few different regards, but the first aspect of it I kind of wanted to touch on was, the rematch aspect, just having previously fought Louis Glismann several years ago and everything like that. And, I mean, a cool tournament you're part of. Is this, like, an ideal opponent to be facing in this tournament just because of, the prior history?
No, I don't think he's the ideal opponent. He's more opponent for in the final. Because I think he's for sure the top three guys in this tournament. And about the rematch, yeah, it's 5 years ago, and 5 years in MMA is a lot. 5 years was at the beginning of my pro career. Now I'm 5 years. It's so much difference. I'm a totally different fighter. More around than I was 5 years ago. And I think and I hope for him he's better also. So I don't see it as a rematch.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you talk about almost being an entirely different fighter. So, I mean, I feel like this answer would be related to just all aspects of your game kind of leveling up. But just what's the, I guess, biggest differences that you can specifically cite between your game like now as compared to where you were at in that June 2018 initial fight?
By 5 years ago, I was more a grappler. So I wanted to go to the ground. He was also more a grappler. I wanted to go on the ground. By then, when I participated in BA grappling tournaments, because my wrestling was good, I was a lot of in top, and in top was, that's my game. And 5 years ago, I get in bottom, and that was my weak part. So that's why he beat me there. And for now, I think I'm a lot better in bottom, and my stand-up and my wrestling also improved. So for this fight, on the ground, it will be 50-50. And if it will be a stand-up fight, I'm sure I'm better.
Yeah, because I was seeing and doing a bit of backgrounding on you. Like, you have certain, like, judo tournament experience and stuff like that. And I guess you're talking about, like, the striking growth and everything like that. Like, who are some of the, I guess, primary people you would credit in some of the big strides you've made in stand-up?
Yeah. What I did around the Glismann for a little bit before, a little bit after, I did less MMA, and I started doing boxing matches and kickbox matches, just to improve my striking. And after that, I started doing MMA again. Yeah, and that's where the knockouts, when I was going to make more knockouts.
Yeah, and I'm seeing you're getting in some, great work in general. Like, I saw a pic you had circa August 2021 on Instagram, getting in that work with Gegard Mousasi. So I think even working with someone like that would probably help the stand-up a bit.
Yeah, also, really. And I think also, because in the Netherlands and Holland, it's a kickbox country. So in every city you have 10 different kickbox gyms with a lot of good guys, so with different styles. So I think because I live here, it's easier to improve my stand-up game. And yeah, Gegard Mousasi is one of the good strikers, but you have so many other good fighters, and that's that helps me a lot.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I imagine Day's gym has no shortage of, great strikers. Like, there's probably an abundance of just very sophisticated kickboxers that you can really be under the learning tree with, as it were.
Yeah, I've sparred a lot with different Glory Kid champions. At this gym now, Reagan Eersel was training there. Yeah, in every gym you have, I think, at least 3, 4, 5 pro guys.
And you were mentioning like the Netherlands and stuff like that, and just such great accomplishments you've had throughout your career, just collecting titles with, Level Fight League and World Fighting League and stuff like that, and just really asserting yourself as the #1 welterweight from out of the Netherlands. Like, as much as this, tournament foray is an individual effort for you, like, how much do you look at it as, kind of representing, Netherlands as well by proxy?
Yeah, I think I'm because I am now in the Netherlands, I'm ranked #1. I see myself as representing the Netherlands, and I hope and I think a lot of people see that also. And I think why I'm good in representing the Netherlands, because there are not many all-round guys. And for my national, I'm more the judo guy, grapple guy. But the Netherlands is famous of his stand-up game now, and that's why I can represent it now very well, because I'm a real MMA fighter, and I'm also a good striker, and not like a lot of other guys, good striker with the hands or the things. I'm a real kickboxer. I can kick, I can knee, I have knockout punches in my hands. And yeah, that makes a big difference. And also a lot of good MMA guys in the Netherlands, they're all strikers. Not all, but most of them. And that's why I think I'm a good representative of in the Netherlands.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I mean, well represented amongst this great tournament field as well. I'm curious, like, what was the initial thought when, I guess, this offer came your way for this €1 million Tipsport Gamechanger tournament? I imagine you'd be fairly elated.
When they came to me if I want to fight in this tournament. Or when my opponent came to me. Sorry, what was the question?
Oh yeah, no worries. Just like I guess when the concept of the tournament was kind of, put your way, I would think that it would be, pretty enticing. I mean, obviously great talent in there, but pretty sizable prize at the end of it too.
Oh yeah, definitely. It is so. Yeah, it's a jump start in my career, because I think there are a lot of good pro guys, and you earn or nothing or a lot, and there is less in between. And when people get a good winning streak, or they get famous in some way, or they have nice matches, then they have they can make big steps in their career. Yeah, and I think this is my big step. So money wise, especially, but also winning a tournament like this, then everybody will know you. For me, the biggest opportunity maybe ever.
Yeah, and I guess I'm kind of curious. Maybe you don't want to get too ahead of yourself. Obviously, this would be a couple fights down the line for sure. But have you, I guess, given any thought to what you would allocate that money towards if you end up getting your desired outcome and winning the whole tournament outright?
Nah, if I win the tournament and I win the money, I think it makes my life easier for the long term. I'm not going to spend it all right away. But for every year I can do one more holiday. I can work less, spend more time with family. If I ever start my own gym, it's easier to start. Yeah, I think things like that.
Yeah, I love hearing that, man. Great ways to allocate the money and stuff like that, and family most important for sure. But definitely wanted to at least briefly touch on the last fight here, just with it being the Oktagon MMA promotional debut and seemed like a fairly comprehensive performance at Oktagon 40, getting the unanimous decision. Like, what were your, I guess, main takeaways from that fight? Like, what was the overall, I guess, assessment of that performance you had there?
Yeah, I was glad I was winning. Before the fight, I already knew I was better, but still, it's a fight, and winning and losing is, yeah, it could be, the difference could be in one small mistake or sometimes luck. My opponent has, yeah, 2 KO fists, so yeah, I was happy with my performance. Yeah, the third round, a little bit less, but sometimes you just have to play safe just to win the fight.
Yeah, and I was noticing too, it's a bit of a relatively quick turnaround, just having that debut fight in March and now readying to fight a bit later this month. Do you like that aspect of it? Like, do you enjoy the, I guess, relatively quick turnaround?
The turnaround in the fight?
Yeah, just like, I mean, not the, I guess, craziest short notice turnaround, but I mean, March to May, bit of a tighter timeline, I suppose. Do you like that aspect of it, just getting to compete with a certain level of regularity?
Yeah, I think if you don't get injured, it's nice to fight as soon as possible. And for now, I think it's around 9 weeks in between. I also need at least 6 weeks for my fight camp, just to get in the, not in a good condition, but the perfect condition. And in 8th, 9th week, you can train very specific for one opponent. I think that's enough.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, in talking about this next opponent, like I was kind of touching on the initial fight you guys had earlier, and you said it's almost like not even a rematch because of the amount of growth that you've had since then. Can you, I guess, speak to your opponent's growth since the first fight? Like, not giving away like any strategy aspects per se, but are there any, I guess, aspects of Louis Glismann's game that you notice are distinctly different from the first time you guys fought?
Yeah, I think his game plan is the same. He still wants to go on the ground. He still is more a specialist on the ground than it's an all-round guy. But yeah, his ground game is still good. But I saw in the last fight, his shoots were better, his scrambles were better, so he improved really with wrestling. And not his last fight, but a few fights before, he was also standing up more. And not to attack, but just to survive. His defense was good. I don't think he wants to stand up, but if he have to, he can box. He has, he has enough power. If he hits you, it could be the end. So yeah, I think he definitely improved his boxing and his shoots.
Yeah, great assessment for sure, and curious to get your opinion on this because I mentioned some of the organizations you were in where you previously were a champion, and also having fought for Brave, which is a quality organization. It seems like Oktagon MMA has really grown a lot in like the last year or even couple years. Obviously in Europe it's growing, but it seems like on a global level it's growing as well. Can you, I guess, speak to that? Like, how do you feel being part of this Oktagon MMA fold? It seems like you got in the promotion at a really good time, like good upward trajectory and all.
Yeah, it's always nice to fight for a big promotion, and now I fight for them. I know them better, and they are a lot bigger than I was thinking before. And for a fighter, one of the most important things is just the organization. And for sure, by my last fight, everything went perfect, and that makes all the small things makes a difference, because you're more relaxed before the fight. You're more relaxed in the dressing room. You don't have to watch when, it's already my turn. You can just relax and You know, when you have to fight, and I fight other big promoters, but I never experienced something so perfect as an organization as I did last time by Oktagon.
Yeah, I love hearing that.
Yeah, only good experience for now.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. And I mean, that seems to be the case from my kind of layman outsider perspective. But I was noticing even a few fights ago, you got to be, part of a tournament structure and stuff like that. Does that, I guess, almost breed a certain level of familiarity heading into a new tournament? Like, does the previous tournament experience, I guess, pay dividends in any sort of way as you enter a new tournament?
No, I think if you fight one fight or tournament, I think it doesn't matter to me. For now, it's just one fight. I have to win the fight, and then just go on to the next. The only thing is with the tournament. Yeah, for now I'm glad I have a few fights left at Oktagon. And I suspect I win. So I'm glad I can fight next year for Oktagon. That's the most nice thing for the tournament. And in the earnings, normally sometimes if you win, then okay, it's just to win, and you go to another organization. And now if you win, you earn a new opponent. And
yeah, no, for sure. I get what you're laying down. But something I was also noticing and doing a bit of backgrounding on you, I was noticing you're a primary school teacher, and it seems like most of that is centric on like physical education from what I was seeing. Like, how long have you been, doing that for? And I guess just curious to, get some insights into that, because I think that's cool.
Oh yeah, I'm a physical teacher for around 8 years. And I started with the normal primary school, and now I'm at still primary school, but now I'm teaching children. We need a little bit more attention. So now I have less kids. So now I have with all my kids, I have more connection. And the nice thing about physical teaching, it's not only the sport, but it's everything. It's the social thing. It's you teach a lot of with emotions, and I think all the important things in life.
I was gonna say, how many of the kids are kind of aware of what you get up to for work? Like, is it like an age range where they kind of have a level of awareness of what you're getting up to? Like, are they asking you about the fights and all that?
They know all about my fighting. The youngest kids I teach are 5, 6. I have just showed them one time for, hey, this is what I do. But around 8 years old, they're really interested. And of course, we sometimes spar or kickbox in the less. And if they don't listen, normally they have to sit somewhere, and I take them in a leg lock. So they know what I do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that sounds really cool. I kind of wish I had a gym teacher like that when I was younger, like doing the kickboxing instead of dodgeball, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great getting to talk to you, man, and I appreciate you making some time. I guess one last thing I kind of wanted to touch on, or one of the last things, I was seeing you had a post relatively recently, like a couple months ago, saying, I'm as good as everybody here, even better. I got KOs and submissions on my record. And, I mean, your finishing rate is definitely very high. Like, do you, I guess, look at this fight? Like, I guess I talk to fighters that do a lot of, like, visualization and stuff like that. Do you have, like, a way that you see this fight unfolding? I imagine you're thinking it ends inside the distance, but do you have, like, any kind of particular visualization or outcome how this might pan out?
Yeah, I really have. I think I'm an all-rounded guy. he isn't. He wants to go on the ground. I can choose where I can go. I can go standing. I can go clinching. I can go on the ground. If it goes on the ground, yeah, it will be 50-50. But I think it's stupid because standing you don't have a chance. We will go on the ground for sure. You always end on the ground somewhere in the match. But I think I will knock him out stand up. Could be knee, punch, kick. He's more a boxer. There's probably a kick or a knee.
Yeah, I love that breakdown of everything. And like I was saying before, I appreciate you making some time and everything like that, man. It's been great getting some insights from you and everything. But just curious if there's maybe a final parting thought you might want to add as we're kind of wrapping up here, Melvin.
No. I just hope, for sure people get curious about my fighting style. And I think, because I'm around, I fight different than a lot of other guys.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, a very exciting fighter to watch, man. I appreciate watching your style for sure.
Yeah. And thanks a lot for your time, for promoting me here.
Yeah, no problem, man. I mean, awesome getting to have you on, so definitely mutually enjoyable. And yeah, definitely was excited for this Louis Glismann rematch before talking to you, but very much excited even more so. And yeah, other people can check that out, Oktagon 43 on May 20th, and just see how this tournament unfolds. But until then, you have a good rest of your day, Melvin, and thank you for the time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you too.